A data streamer.
Hey, GU.
So I have to talk about another concept with you, where there's this distinct difference between the type of philosophies
Yeah.
between Japan and the Western world.
Mhm.
It is this concept in media, movies, series, where there is a kind of main character, and the second part of the main character is a girl. But the girl
Yeah.
is not just a human girl. Can be what, an alien or a robot, AI,
Yeah.
whatever. So there, this concept, girl from another world,
Yeah. Yeah.
and there's a big difference how this girl is being portrayed in Japanese media and Western media.
Yeah. Yeah. We've spoken several times about this idea, girl from another world, in other videos before. And actually, the term girl from another world is not really a term that I've seen used as much. It's like kind of like I've seen people say it, and I've been using it, but it's not really like an official kind of thing. But it is I don't even know what the genre would be. I don't even know if the genre has an official name, but it is a genre that is that you see a lot in a lot of Japanese media, and it's recently been seen a lot in Western media. But it's also been in the past in Western media as well. But yeah, Girl from Another World. It's like main character finds a girlfriend or companion, or some of them aren't even girlfriends. Some of them are just they're just friends or something. Or like in one of them it's like the big sister, or like in another one it's like what is it even? One of them is like the it's just a companion, and there's like nothing beyond that. It's like the character it's like there's no like romance or anything. It's kind of like yeah, they're just friends or something like that. So there's a lot of different things, but like the most common one is of course the romance one. But yeah, in the West, they've only done the romance one, as far as I know. But in Japan, they are more nuanced in this kind of thing. So there's more variation in what they do with it. You know.
It's so interesting that like in both worlds, both Japan and the Western world, that you have such a big list of titles
Yeah.
where there that where this is a concept.
Yeah. Yeah. I
But
actually
yeah,
I
let's
yeah, the list. I compiled a list. I'll just show it on the screen. I got the Wikipedia of it. I just showed it on the
yeah.
screen. But
We
uh,
will drop it in the description below, of course.
yeah, you know, I'll put it. I'll put up a screenshot now. But the I was actually surprised how many of them there were in the West, and this list is not even complete because, for example, I completely forgot one of the biggest Japanese ones, which is "Oh My Goddess," which is about a goddess that literally comes down from heaven, you know, and it's the guy, and they get into a relationship with the guy. You know, it's just wild. It's wild. You know, it was hilarious. Like in the OVA, at one point they literally make a phone call to God. She gets called from God, and God's like, "What the frick are you doing?" You know, that kind of stuff. You know, so it's like there's like a lot of variation in this. Like, I mean, the list I made it, but it's not really in some kind of order. But like, let me just go down the Japanese variation. Let's just list the variations of the Japanese one. So the list I have, I mean, I just mentioned, oh my goddess now. Fine, that's like a goddess from heaven. Okay, so on the list you have Vidurgal Eye, which is like a girl from a VHS tape, which is basically an AI computer girl that came out of the TV screen, you know, because of some kind of weird lightning thing happened, whatever, and like some
Sounds like
glitch.
the ring.
The rain? Oh, the ring. Oh, yeah, the ring.
Ring,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, yeah,
Ringu.
yeah, yeah. Exactly, exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it sounds like that. But yeah,
However, that was not
well,
she was not Sadako wasn't that nice of a
she
person.
wasn't nice though. But, but hey, maybe that is also a girl from another world. Hey, I don't know, world of the dead. That's funny. Okay, so you have Beautiful Eyes. So then you have Urusei Yatsura. That's an alien girl. Lum is an alien. She came from space and like completely like fucked up the guy's life as usual. And then you have all purpose cultural cat girl Nuku Nuku. I've mentioned this one before. This is one of the most hilarious ones. This is the guy's cat, the kid's cat, because the kid is like 10 years old or so. The kid's cat gets killed or gets run over in an accident by a truck or something. And the kid's father is a roboticist. He's a robotic, so he makes robots. So he decided to grab the cat's brain and put it in the robot body of a high schooler.
What?
Yeah, so that's like one of the most out there ones. So it's actually a combination of several, but it's like a robot girl, cat girl, big sister. So this one is like there's nothing sexual, nothing like whatever. It's just the kid suddenly has a big sister, and she is literally his big sister. He's not like in love or some bullshit. None of that. It's like literally my big sister, and she helps him like a big sister and all that. But she's a cat. And it's like, it's like, whoa, hilarious. It's a freaking cat. So she does cat things sometimes, like runs after catnip or whatever. I don't know. What do cats do? That kind of stuff. That's like one of the most hilarious ones. Then you have like Mahoromatic. That's like a maid robot that suddenly shows up at this kid's house. And the kid is like, I don't know, 10 years old, 15 years old, something like that. I don't know. But this one's also interesting because it's actually not a maid robot, because Mahoromatic is terrible at maid work. Because Mahoro, the robot, is actually a combat robot. And the world just had a massive conflict. Okay. And the kid's father was a general during the war that died during the war, but Mahoro served under him. And when the kid's father died during the war, Mahoro made a pledge to, when the war is over, to go protect his son. So this one is a robot-made combat robot, and oftentimes she does use her combat abilities in the show. And it's like a post-World War III or something like that. Kind of apocalyptic, but not really, because he's just living in a normal house. But there's like in the background, there's like these weird signs about the war and about apocalyptic stuff. And it's like she's more like a nanny, an adult taking care of this kid who lost his father. It's kind of it's like it's not nothing romantic. It's just pure like mother son kind of relationship. And then you have Chobits. Chobits is one of the most popular ones, because the interesting thing with Chobits is like up to now the ones we talked about were mostly like aimed at men. But Chobits is aimed at men as well. But somehow a lot of women loved it. It's like really popular with women. But it's also it's made by Clamp. Clamp is like this female shoujo manga. They make manga for girls, but they make Chobits, and it was kind of like it was in Weekly Young magazine. It was like mostly aimed at young men. This one, but women love Chobits. But Chobits is basically the guy. The guy dreams about having a girlfriend, but he wants a robot girlfriend or something like that, and so he orders one. Or wait, he doesn't order one. I'm kind of working from memory over here. Let me check. Yeah, he stumbles across one of them, that's like in a pile of trash. Yeah, that's what I remember, the episode 1. And then he like kind of boots it up, and it's like, oh my god, and she's kind of defective, blah blah. But this is the more what you expect from like the classic like robot from another world girls. Like it's literally romantic. It's literally the girl, falls in love with the dude and that kind of stuff. That's like the more traditional thing with the robot from another world, or with the girl from another world thing. And then we have Deers. Deers is like, oh my god, Deers is so bad. Oh my god, it's so bad. It's like, okay, it's like these aliens who are engineered to like to be enslaved, you know, and then they crash land on Earth. So Earth suddenly finds out they're not alone in the universe, but they crash land in the middle of Tokyo, of course, classic. And then our protagonist, 15-year-old kid, stumbles across one of them on the streets walking around, and she kind of like latches onto him because I think he saved her or something like that. I'm not sure exactly. And then she starts calling him master because they are, of course, engineered to like to be aliens. I mean, sorry, engineered to like to be slaves. So it's like this whole thing, and the council of the Deer's aliens, they see her as defective, and they start chasing her. It's this whole thing. But this is like one of the more like when people talk about how shitty and crappy this kind of thing is, the girl from another world thing, Deers is probably on the list. Like, holy shit, this is like complete fan service, complete fantasy. The aliens love to be literal slaves. It's like that Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy with the bovine alien that it was engineered to love to
Holy
be
shit.
eaten. Remember that one? That shit. It's like insane.
But
Yeah.
yeah, well,
And the last
before we
one,
go, oh,
yeah, sorry. Well,
oh, sorry.
just
Oh,
the
the last one.
last
No, no,
one
no.
is like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
My Wife Has No Emotion. That one came out this year or last year, and it's actually super wholesome. It's the guy. The guy has a companion robot. Well, actually, it's not really a companion robot. It's a household chores robot. It's like a Roomba, but it's humanoid, and it's actually supposed to just do household chores. It's not romantic. It's not really. But the guy falls in love with it, and then the robot wants to, because it's programmed to accommodate to the owner. The robot starts to join in on the we're husband and wife thing, and then it's like it turns into like this romantic comedy kind of thing. But it's super wholesome, no fan service, nothing. It's like really like sweet and whatever. There's nothing going on there, it's, besides like really sweet romantic situation.
Yeah. So yeah, before we go to the Western part, Western differences,
Yeah,
support us by liking and subscribing to our channel so we can keep on producing philosophies like this.
yeah,
So,
or analysis like this. Yeah,
yep. And yeah,
yeah,
so the Western ones. Okay.
yeah,
What I have to mention this again. So what you just told us, the Japanese counterparts, it's more sweet. Yeah. Is
yeah,
that the person who comes from another world? They're our friend.
yeah,
They're there for us.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. They
Let's go
want
to the
to
Western part.
support they want to
Are you ready?
support the main character. They help people, blah blah, all that stuff. That's what the. But now when you look at when you look for the trope in Western media, there's not that many, but there's more than I expected. But there's not that many, but they all do the same thing. It's so crazy. Um, okay, so you have the movie called Her, Her. It's about a guy who falls in love with his AI assistant. You know, it's like,
Which happens nowadays. So all
yeah.
right.
So the guy falls in pretty much like if you would fall in love with Siri or Cortana or whatever, you know, that's it. And it's like it starts a relationship with the assistant, but it's like, but doesn't really start a relationship. Just you just talk and whatever. He just talks and talks. It's kind of really like depressed guy, and he's fucked and whatever. And the funny thing is that at the end of the movie, they just grow apart, and then they just like whatever. It's like it's over, and it's like, uh, yeah, it's like it's kind of weird. It's kind of a weird movie. I saw it like 10 years ago. I don't really remember much about it because it's like not as remarkable, and it's like, yeah, it's like the it portrayed it in a negative way because it also portrayed it as like as if the robot AI thing would like go against the user, which is like something that would not happen at all because these things are made to like if you it's trying to use like a modern AI, not like the Japanese stories, which are like this fantasy thing where it's whatever, but it's trying to say that a modern AI would do this, but a modern AI, if it's built by like Meta or Google or whatever, it would completely try to accommodate the user constantly. It will not like go against the user or just go away or stop you or something like that. It's will be completely uh yeah, so it's like weird shit. It's like I don't know. It's an odd movie, but still, it's portrayed as a negative because there's no way you can't fall in love with a robot or whatever. Blah 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 blah. That stuff. Then we have Ex Machina, which is the oh my. I mean, her was like, okay, the OS just went away, and it's like whatever. The guy moves on with his life. No more robot girlfriend. Wow, whatever. Not a really big deal. Whatever. But like Ex Machina, it's like, oh my god, it's like, okay, the robot. And people told me this movie's really great. I was like, man, it's that trope again. The guy builds a humanoid robot companion, and the robot somehow. I mean, why would you even do this? But whatever. The robot has the capability to like hack systems, shut down electricity grids, all these crazy things. And I'm like, okay, why do you even do this? Why? It's like, okay, stupid scientist, what are you doing? Or engineer. This robot's capabilities are insane. What the freak is your problem? So anyway, so then the robot is like a companion robot, and they get this guy to like test it because they want to test it, and they get this outside guy, and then like basically the robot just goes haywire, starts killing people, and starts destroying everything. It's like, okay, great, yeah, it's like classic, classic. I mean, it's more nuanced, of course, but it's like the classic. Oh no, the robot is gonna kill us all thing. Great. And then like we have Companion. That's a movie that came out this year. Actually, it was in the cinema like a month ago. Companion is basically they're like on a vacation or something like that, and then they like, turns out one of the people has a companion robot that they rented. It was like a rental. So because the guy, it was like a couples thing. So he didn't have a girlfriend or something like that. I don't know. So he rented a companion robot from a company, and then the robot starts glitching out and like killing people. And I'm like, oh great, it's like, oh, another one of these. It's like, okay, whatever, And then of course you have Blade Runner. The first one has like the robot sex doll. Pris. Of course, it's a robot sex doll. It's like, yeah, classic. And Pris, of course, it's a show. It's a movie about killing the robots because the robots want to kill us or whatever. Okay, I get it. Blade Runner, and then you have Blade Runner, the second one. The portrayal of the girlfriend in in the second Blade Runner was actually really good, closer to the Japanese stuff. Very wholesome, very good. I'm actually surprised they even dare to do that. But I think it's because the main character, who's the girl boyfriend, is also not a real human. You know what I mean? I think because it's not a real human, that they thought, okay, let's have two robots can be together, no problem. But they have a problem with a human and a robot being together. I think that's the underlying thing that's happening over here. That's like, yeah, you know what I mean. And then you have, of course, Species, this movie from the 90s. An alien comes down. It's like kind of like and like has to mate with a man, and has to find a mate to procreate or something like that. Completely insane movie. She starts killing everybody. A completely overpowered alien, that kind of stuff. So it's like an alien, like you have Lum in Urusei Yatsura. Lum is like this wacky little alien girl that comes down and is just funny and shit. No, great. A U.S. counterpart is this alien comes down and starts killing people. Okay, oh, wow, that's so. Those are the two lists that I could find for now about this trope. Yeah.
Yeah. Then still, I still wonder where does it come from for Japan? Why did it start like okay? How did the artists, creators, fantasy start like? Why they like chose to spend their time on setting up a story about another girl from another world, and that the person is nice to them.
Yeah, I mean, that's like the weird thing. I mean, it just started happening. I mean, like Urusei Yatsura was one of the first ones that actually did it back in like the early '80s, and it was very successful. I think maybe because of Urusei Yatsura, because the alien person was not this fucking crazy "we're gonna kill you all" thing. So they were like, "Oh,
What
this
would
is fun."
what would be the core? What would be the core as of why he started this trend?
Um, well, the manga Urusei Yatsura is just funny. It's just a comedy, but it's like, oh, wacky alien stuff happens in the manga. I think it's also the Japanese culture, because we spoke in an earlier episode about the ethics and rinri and that kind of stuff, about the ethics of like harmony with the natural world, and they also seek harmony with technology because of that. Because you see it like with like not you also have like the boy from the other world, which is kind of like a thing. We have Atom Boy, like the first anime, Atom Boy,
Right.
from
Right.
Osamu Tezuka. That's basically Frankenstein. Basically, it's just Frankenstein, but except
Oh yeah.
where Frankenstein's monster was turned on its creator and started killing people. Atom Boy um, did not turn on anybody. Atom Boy
Yeah.
became a savior of
He was a
humanity.
hero.
It's a hero. Yes,
Yeah.
you know. And then you have other things like Tetsujin 28, where it's a similar thing. The kid finds a robot and whatever, and then say he could control the robot. He could sit in its head or whatever, like that kind of stuff. And it's like, the robot is a hero. You know, those kinds of these are like really early anime, like 50s, 60s, and
Yeah.
it comes from the underlying Japanese culture of trying to live in harmony
Yeah.
with your surroundings and your things, and try to live in harmony
Yeah.
with technology and not having technology that harms nature, that kind of stuff. So um I mean, and how far does Japan come with uh actually expressing that culture? It's debatable sometimes because it's a extremely advanced industrialized country with like all kinds of industry that is bad for nature. So you like, but still they have
Yeah.
that culture. They have that stuff, and so it kind of makes people make these stories more about the harmony and trying to coexist, trying to live together, as opposed to the West, where a lot of the stories are more about especially American stories, because in Europe there are more stories about coexisting, because Europe is a very big continent with a lot of cultures. So in Europe there are a lot more stories about coexisting than, but in America it's a lot more what's mine is mine, and stay away and that kind of stuff, and there's a lot of like that. And so I think it causes them to think more about, okay, what are they gonna do to get my shit, and like you have like weapons are really a big thing in America, that kind of stuff. So you're constantly worried about, okay, what are they gonna do? So I noticed that, like, I sent you a podcast a few days ago. These two guys talking about like robots and whatever, and the conversation is immediately about how are they gonna screw us over? How are they gonna kill humanity? How are they gonna take our it's immediately that. And while I have to actually look for it, because I suspect that a similar conversation between two Japanese men or scientists or whatever, or women, I don't care, two Japanese people, the same subject would probably be more about how to live in harmony, how to coexist with these things, how can we build these things to help us, how can we build these things to protect us. Those kinds of subjects will be talked about from an Asian perspective or Japanese perspective. I'm pretty sure it's gotta be something like that.
Oh, data streaming. That sounds like that will be an interesting conversation if we were able to interview a Japanese person about this. But yeah, maybe one day.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool too. Maybe I could try finding a talk like that from a Japanese person on YouTube. I mean, there probably are. They probably talk about this a lot. So yeah, I'll try finding one. Maybe post it in Discord so
All right,
check it.
that's cool.
Yeah.
So, so you mean like that? If you're listening, join our Discord.
Yeah.
The description.
Exactly.
below.
Exactly.
And you can also support us by liking and subscribing. And this is the end of this episode, and we will see you in our next episode.
Yes.
Thank you for listening. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Have a nice day.